Welcome, everyone, to episode 12 of Blissfully Unaware podcast. Now, we're sorting out our troubles and oversharing again this week, as well as bringing you the news that matters, like the right way to wear a beanie, the regrets of a radical socialist, and why it's important to eat last. So we hope all you guys enjoy this as much as we did recording it. End monologue. For a little bit.
Yeah.
Until we find like our groove.
Dude.
We haven't done one where we're both high in a minute.
I know. We fucking this is gonna be good, dude.
Yeah. I'm loving, dude, you got like a little plateau up here.
That's how I rock it, bro.
You poked it in. Oh my god! Where did you poke it
in? Hey, it's a little bird's nest, bro, okay? It's nice and fluffy. I'm one with the animals, all right?
Oh my god, dude, who showed you that? Or is that just like all you?
That's all me, bro.
That's sick.
This is the new shit. This is the new shit, yo. If you got a big head like me and you can't wear your hat down too low, then you gotta pop it up. But if it keeps popped up all the way, looks fucking stupid. So instead, bro, you make a little crater. Tell me that shit doesn't look fly as fuck.
It looks like normal size like that. Bro, okay. Nice. Hell, check this out. I'm gonna put you on. Now, I have a weirdly shaped head. So This looks like a normal hat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I put it on, it doesn't look odd. But like it's just folded twice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean, dude. I think I have a hat like that.
Yeah, just if like I know you have the main thing on there, but if you fold it up like that, then it folds twice.
All right, so let me try this out.
Yeah, I don't like having a ton of extra poof up top, so I fold it twice like that, and it makes it look better around like my head because it makes more of like a barrier.
Dude, this could be it.
Just thought I'd share the knowledge on that.
This might be the end of my fucking bird nest method.
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't look bad, but yeah, you gotta pop it.
I know it's stuck, dude. I think the problem is because look at on the other side, this shit pops up a little.
Oh.
So I have to roll it fatter than usual.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do have other hats that technique might work on, Nate.
Yeah, try that. I love it. Like I've been wearing beanies like that 24/7.
Dude, beanies in the winter, most gas shit, so comfortable.
Yeah.
Never even knew like how comfortable it was, honestly, and then I was just like, so nice, dude.
Bro, not only that, it's like it makes so many outfits like work.
Yes.
Like, that burnt orange one, I can just put with anything. Like then I have a maroon one. I'm like, ooh. Like I'm having a bad hair day. I go, okay. I just go like this, and then put a hat on. Like, dude, it's perfect.
Dude, the best shit ever. Never have to worry how your hair is looking, bro. Before this podcast, I looked in the mirror. I was like, hat podcast today. Dude, this bad boy. This thing hasn't come off my head, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe I should ask for another one for Christmas, a new color, bro. Seems like you got a whole wardrobe. It might be smart. Diversify.
Yeah, well, honestly, yeah. I wear so much gray. I had a gray hat, and I was like, I got to get more. Deadass, you're not, like, don't include this part of the podcast because it'll expose me for the poor fuck I am. But go to JCPenney. They have ones that are, like, those were $8. They look fine. They're like good construction, and
dude, there's nothing wrong with going to JCPenney, bro. What?
Go to JCPenney.
There's nothing wrong with that, dude.
There's something a little wrong with that.
No, come on. Why?
Okay, all right, maybe. Oh, you look a lot better lit now.
Oh, dude, I look good.
Oh my god.
Keep going.
Something about JCPenney. Oh, well, yeah, I don't really like JCPenney clothes in general, but I told my grandma, I was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm looking for hats, and, dude, she's got all the hookups.
Yeah, dude, Dude, we'll just have to cut it right before you say Callie's president in case she listens. But
Yeah.
but I did want to go on this a little bit. Just like certain people, dude. Like I feel like I've been having this feeling like since I've been home that I've never really like thought about before is
Yeah.
just like seeing people that I know from town interact with each other like that they've known for a long time. So like for example, like my barber, she shout out Lori's Clip and Snip, bro. I don't know if she's technically called a barber because it's a she. I don't know what that goes, hairdresser.
What was
But
the
anyways,
business
it's like
title? It was business Lori's Clippings.
Clip and Snip.
Oh,
So she used to cut hair out on the base. We have a big Air Force base on the Cape, and then she started her own thing. So she has like regulars every week that come get their haircut from the base because they're military dudes. And so she just nice with it, bro. And I always go to her and just like seeing her interact with people that she's known for like, like years and years. And then me going to see somebody that I know and like I don't know who I saw the other day. I was talking to them in like Stop and Shop or something like that.
yeah.
And it was just sick. I was like, it's nice to know people and like know like if you have a guy for that, you know what I mean? Like you're like in a bind at home, but like somebody at the auto body shop that can help you out like for free or whatever, that kind of thing. Just like
Yeah.
that's a nice part of home,
I know. It is weird. Like I kind of feel any connection that I have in my community isn't through me. It's like, well, my grandpa knows this guy, or my dad knows this guy, or my mom works with this person. Like, but yeah, like when does that start happening? Is that just like when your high school friends start opening up like auto body shops in like your town or something?
Probably because I have a pretty similar situation. Like my parents are both teachers like yours, so they know everyone. And my
Yeah.
dad's side, my grandpa and Grammy, everyone knows them. So yeah, but I don't know. It must just be like whenever you start making the connection with those people, even if like you don't know them like at like that close, but if you're like a regular at their shop or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. The problem is like with barber shops, like I had a barber shop I was going to for like a while. But then I was just like, oh, I don't want to mess with this anymore because like they have no fucking clue what to do with like longer hair.
Yeah,
And
that
he's like,
sucks.
yeah, he was like, you want me to use trimmers on that? And I'm like, I don't know, buddy. Does it look like you should use trimmers on this? Where would you like?
Nate gets fucking
I know.
aggressively angry about the haircut.
It's the most Karen shit ever. Like, obviously, I didn't actually say to him.
Right. No, of course. No, I know
Like,
that. I know that.
yeah.
But still, dude, like getting tight after, I do feel there's certain things where I'm like, how the fuck did anyone think that?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my socially anxious self, I was like, oh, well, if you could use scissors, that would be great, but no pressure. Like, but yeah, I was kind of just like, why would you even ask that? Like, why would, what do you do with that?
What kind of question is that?
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the chair.
Right.
Like, don't fuck around and ask me those questions. Like your hair, like, it gets cut once, every few months. Like, don't be asking me questions like that when I'm in the chair. Like, now all of a sudden I've surrendered and I'm sitting here and you're asking me about fucking using a trimmer. I'm like, come on.
Yeah, dude. Yes.
Okay, I get it now.
It's like, it's still so Karen-y to like have any kind of issues with that, but like, any guy can relate to this. If you have a barber where you just like sense his vibe is off or he asks one dumb question, you never trust him again.
Your heart's thumping, bro.
Is it thumping in agreement or just from the weed? Like,
no. I mean, like in this scenario, you hear him asking like, oh fuck, you're getting nervous.
Bro, went right over my head. Oh my god. No, I just like I've been trying to like get as many female barbers or hairstylists as possible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this shit get another 2 to 3 inches and then go to a salon.
Word.
Don't word that. You could say it's gay.
No,
You know
Dude,
what that
no.
was on the same level of? That was on the same level of, okay.
Yeah. No, no, I was just trying to picture you with hair that long, bro. Honestly, it might be nice to go to a salon, dude, get the blow dry and like, oh, they treat you like a king in there, bro.
I don't think,
Good tails.
yeah, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, we had a buddy of mine, bro. Always go to the salon growing up in high school, and we clowned the fuck out of him for it.
He actually went to the salon. What did he just have like long Nordic dreads? Like what
Dude, you
was
got
it?
it. Like people with hair like that takes priority. It starts taking priority.
Well, yeah,
Like
but it's
you,
also like,
like you do shit for your hair when it's that nice.
do you not do like, dude? I have special shampoo for my hair, and it's like not that long.
Yeah, but Nate, dude, this is what I'm talking about. Like,
Oh, uh-oh.
like I wasn't even making fun of you about the salon, but now I am gonna come at you right now about the
Go
hair
ahead.
because for anyone who's ever just been in a room trying to leave, Nate will spend so long combing his hair. He has nice hair, but like, sometimes I'm just like, man, we gotta go.
Dude, hey, ask my girlfriend about that. She hates it.
He probably gets ready twice as fast as you do.
She does. Dude, Callie gets out of the shower. She's like, all right, I'm ready to go. And then I'm like, I'm sitting over there, just hold on. This hair is out of place.
Dude, that's so Carolyn though. Carolyn's pretty quick to get ready. She jumps out of bed, especially in the morning, dude. She's fucking up early all the time.
Really?
Yeah, so usually I'm like a little sluggish.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's my issue. I like sleeping in, and then I also take a long time to get ready. Yo, honestly, for everybody that's like, wondering, well, why would it take so long to like do your hair in the morning? Look at this hairline. Do you see this? Not only is it like up to here, but it also goes up in the middle. Like you just got to kind of deal with it.
dude,
Like,
Nate, your hairline is totally fucking normal, bro.
dude, don't patronize me.
No,
Don't
I'm
even start
serious,
on that
bro.
shit.
Look at my head. My head's huge, bro. Everyone thinks they have a big
No,
head,
you
but
got
they
great
don't.
hair. You got great hair, brother. You're
Yeah.
set.
Well, listen. Um, I was thinking this earlier. Because I was thinking, like, I was telling you how Carolyn wakes up early. I already have told you that, but like, she's gonna be home soon. So I was thinking, like, once she gets home, um, I'll like go over there and stay with her usually, and just like I'll be here during the day or whatever, and then go stay at her house at night. And dude, that's I was thinking like, because I've been staying up so late recently, like that's gonna be a rude awakening for me. I'm gonna have to really change up my sleep schedule once she comes home, but that'll be nice. Honestly, it's so good to get up in the morning.
I have alarms set for like 8 and 8:05, but I didn't get up till today till like 10:30. Like,
Really.
and I feel so gross doing that, but it's kind of like a
Yeah.
necessary evil.
Sometimes it happens, bro,
Yeah.
especially if you're staying up mad late and just doing shit. Did you
Have
finish
you
up your finals?
almost? I have like 4 questions left of my sociology exam.
Oh, word.
Yeah, but I'm so close to being done, so I've just been feeling like I'm washed of this anxious stress.
Good, dude.
Ugh.
And there it went.
I forced that one. Holy
Didn't feel
shit.
good.
Oh yeah. Um, dude, have you been like staying up to like 2 or 3 like every
More like around 1, but like that's pretty late for me. Kind of same deal.
I don't know what my issue is, but I've just been like totally like insomniac. I honestly I haven't smoked in a few days, which I low key think like I need to be fucked up in some form to fall asleep.
You think so?
Yeah, which is so bad, but I was actually I was watching this video. Do you know Russell Brand, right?
Yeah.
I think I've talked about him before, but such a visionary. I was watching or listening to like one of his videos recently, and it was talking about how when we're in pain or we're stewing on one particular thing that we can't get past, the best thing to do is just like sit in it rather than to try and numb ourselves with um, any kind of drug. But I think I've been realizing like I have such a hard time falling asleep because I have all these like running thoughts of like, did this get done today? Did you make peace with this thing? Did you make peace with that person?
Mm.
Um, and yeah, that's why I think like I need to have like if I'm gonna go to bed without like just laying in my bed for an hour, I need to have like a drink or two or like just smoke like half a joint. Um, but yeah, I've been out of weed recently, so I haven't been smoking, and I've been intentionally putting off like re-upping so that I don't smoke. Because if I have it, then I'm like, oh okay, I got to do this. Um, but look, I value Russell Brand's opinion. I think he's smart, but I didn't notice any kind of like, you know, uh, profound change or realization after just sitting with my pain. I was like, I just can't go to sleep.
Yeah, how long did you do that?
How many days? Or like how long was I sitting there?
How many days were you like trying to go to bed at night?
Like three, just three. So like not that long, but
That
enough.
could be that could be it, but that is still a long time to be not sleeping.
Yeah, like
That's
I've
the worst feeling.
over the past 3 days, I've been going to bed at like 3 or 4, but then getting up at 8 or 9, and then today I got up at 10:30, which was
Mm.
really fucking late. But I feel low key like there's been a few times I've pulled all nighters, and I feel fucking electric the next day
Yeah,
for like the whole day. I'm talking like
weird.
I know, but it's like I can only do that once. But if I pull an all nighter, then I wake up, or I don't wake up. I just turn off whatever video game or movie I'm watching and head downstairs, make a breakfast at like 7:30, start ripping out work. Like I'm
Damn,
productive. Like I'm,
that's crazy.
I don't know what it is. It's just,
That actually makes me anxious thinking about that.
bro, I hate sleeping so much. I
Really?
despise sleeping. It's the worst.
Why?
It's just so much time that I could be doing other things. Uh,
Mm.
like I could be reading during that time. I could be, relaxing, like playing a
Dude,
video game or watching a movie. Like there's so many
yeah,
things I could be using those 8 hours to get better at. Like
right.
it makes me anxious going to sleep because it feels like I'm wasting my own time.
Mm. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Something that Justin did with me sophomore year,
Yeah.
like every night. I don't know if Justin did this because like he knew like it was doing something for him, or if it was just like what he always has done. But every night, dude, he made such a ritual out of getting into bed and going to sleep. Like, and it,
Elaborate on that. What do you mean?
yeah. So it sounds like it's all right. Basically, like what he would do is it's like simple. Every day he'd get in bed and like we'd watch TV or whatever, and I'd be like in my bed or whatever,
Yeah.
and then we'd turn the TV off, and he would go like he would like scuffle around in his bed, like tossing, like just toss until he gets comfortable, and be like, "Oh, best part of the day," like and he would say that every night. Oh, this is the best part of the day, and he'd pull the covers up and snuggle in. I know it sounds mad cheesy, like a cheesy ass movie, bro. He didn't say it like forced. It was like really he was just excited to go to sleep, and then I started doing it too, bro. And I like convinced my like I made a ritual out of that sleep schedule, and I would go to bed at like 10:30 or 11 with him every night, and I just by saying that every day I just convinced myself that it was like the right to be sleeping.
What?
It was sick.
Dude, I don't know. I can't empathize with that. Like
That's all right.
it's
Dude, you got to
so
find a way to quiet your mind up when you're going to sleep, dude. I know that's an obvious answer, but like, have you
it's
tried meditating before bed?
I've been doing these breathing exercises when I'm trying to go to bed. The problem
Okay.
I hate going to sleep so much that it's like I'll put it off and put it off. It's like I'll lay in my bed and leave all my clothes on. It's like I don't want to put on my pajamas.
You
I just
hate it that much?
I hate sleeping.
Do
Yeah.
you think you hate sleeping, or do you hate like laying there with your thoughts before you go to sleep?
It's not even that because like I'll have those thoughts all day. It's just when I go to sleep, I can't work on those thoughts, you know?
Hmm.
But when I'm awake and I'm able to deal with all of it, which I do like. Now I don't know where this comes from, but like, you know, in the mornings I'll get up and like, you know, I might not roll out of bed immediately. I might just kind of be like, oh, for like the first hour, turn over, fall back to sleep for like an hour, maybe half an hour. But then I'll get up and I'm like, all right, let's attack this. Like I can do stuff during the day, but you know what I think what it kind of is like at night, I feel like there's no pressure, there's no responsibility. Nobody's expecting you to get anything done at 2 a.m. So it's kind of like this guilt-free, I can do whatever the fuck I want kind of feeling. And obviously I can do that
Mm,
during the day, but I also
interesting, dude.
wait, what were you saying? You just like totally glitched on my screen for some like it totally froze.
Yeah, my bad, dude. We just froze up there. I heard you say up until like I pretty much heard everything you said, I think.
Okay. Haley, you're dropping out for me.
I know. Fuck. All right.
I'm trying to
Let me
reset
check
my internet.
my Wi-Fi. I'm
Is
on the
it
right one.
is it any better right now?
Yeah, it seems to be good.
Okay. All right. Sorry about
Yeah.
that, bro. I didn't mean to like interrupt the flow of everything, but
No, dude, no worries. It happens, bro. Technical difficulties. It's the way it be.
um, fucking Zoom. This is so fucked up.
I wish we could just sit on the couch, bro.
I know. I miss
Way
the
better.
conversations. Ugh.
So, dude, I did want to go into this too. So perfect that you brought this up. So I've been like telling you just separately from this podcast how like it's been kind of been hard for me to like get into an actual routine since I've been home.
Yeah.
And I didn't talk about this last podcast, right?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. All right, good. So today I was like, it was my last day of finals, and my room has like been a mess for like a week.
Yeah.
And at school, dude, I keep my room like pretty clean, and like especially last year with Justin because I didn't want to like make the room dirty, but also even this year, dude, like I'll still keep my room pretty. I'm not like crazy neat, but I'm pretty neat.
Yeah.
And at home, dude, I'm just like never in my room, so I never have to deal with it. So I just like let it get bad, if that makes sense. Yeah, not terrible, not never food or anything, but just usually clothes, shit like that. Like not organized, like on the floor and that kind of thing. Or like
Yeah.
I'll do laundry and then I'll just like leave it on my bed and like sleep on the other side of the bed, not put it away.
What? Dude, what?
Yeah, that's some shit I do.
Ah,
I hate laundry. But anyway, so like I said, I've been just like having this like I've been in a little bit of a rut. So like
okay.
just like routine and schedule wise, my mood has been fine, but just like I know I haven't been doing all the things that I was doing at school, which like is kind of throwing me off. So this morning I woke up, I was like, all right, like I was on my phone way too much yesterday, like so long on my phone, like TikTok and
Give me an
whatever,
hour
dude.
estimate. What do we think?
It
4?
was 9.
Whoa.
9.
You know what? We've all had days like that though. Like
Yeah. Well, I saw that before I went to bed and I go, okay, that can never happen again. Ever. Like, I'm not doing that again. So I woke up, dude. I was like, all right, I'm getting this shit together today. Like, woke up like around 8:30. Um, got up, showered, shaved my face, which is like I haven't shaved in like a week and a half. So I was feeling greasy from that too. So that was nice to get a clean shave in. And then like went downstairs, made a big breakfast, bro. Avocado toast, fucking fire, chocolate milk. And then came upstairs
Did you do
and
any
just
pour over coffee?
dude, not this morning. I didn't have any today.
Oh,
I know. Don't
bro,
yeah.
you gotta talk about that. You gotta sell the listeners to it. Cause
I know, dude, I will, but I don't want to yet because it's like a
yeah, yep.
yeah, I'll go into it, but just not on another podcast.
All right. All right.
Yeah, but anyways, dude. So I just felt good, dude. I came upstairs, cleaned my whole room, and now all day, dude, I just been like looking at my room, like, oh, it fucking looks clean, like it looks good
Yeah.
in here. Like I just feel so much better, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, the power of like a safe and clean environment is like it's so profound. Like,
I
um,
know. You're neat. You're super neat compared to me. So you probably were cringing big time at the laundry.
yeah, I mean, dude, look into like my fucked up brain. I need exact order. Every single thing in my room has a very specific place. Even my glasses, I can't just throw them anywhere. They have to go in a specific spot on top of my iHome and they have to look a certain way. Like,
Really?
yeah, I think I have like some anxiety induced OCD behaviors. Like,
Could
it's
be,
just
bro.
it's necessary for me. Like I need things to have a place. I like, but then I don't feel good until I do that. Like every morning when I wake up, I have to make my bed. And if I don't make my bed for the rest of the day, I'll enter my room and I'll just be like I feel like I don't want to do work. Like I just want to fuck
Really
off and like, you know, play video games or like watch TV or shit like that.
interesting.
Yeah, then I make my bed and then I'm like, all right, work time. Like, let's go. Very weird.
That's that, dude. Everyone has that kind of habitual like response system. I feel like where like certain environmental pieces people just can't get over. You know, like
Yeah, yeah.
for me, dude, I hate sleeping when there's noise and there's just no shot I'm gonna sleep unless it's
Really?
silent. Like pretty much. Except for well, the exception to that's like at night when I'm trying to go to bed. The exception to that is during the day I can fall asleep at any time. I'm like low key, like I have what is it called? Narcolepsy. Like
No, you dude.
I don't actually have that,
Narcolepsy.
but like I think I have an off strand of that, bro. Like
Narcolepsy would be if I was just talking like this, and then all of a sudden I was just like,
yeah, that'd be crazy. That would suck.
but I
But
mean, I feel you. I think that's just
yeah.
overtiredness, overworking.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what it is. But yeah, everyone just has that one thing that you're like, all right, I can't fuck around with this at all unless it's
Yeah,
clean. Yeah.
dude. Even I mean, like I chain diffuse in my room. Like I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it right now, but right below, like right below that thing, there's
Yeah.
like my diffuser. I have it constantly pumping.
Yeah.
I don't have like lemon and lavender in my room, then like I just get so stressed. Which
Really?
yeah, it's weird.
Whoa.
I convinced myself that lemon and lavender is like my work smell because I was using it at school all the time.
Yeah.
So if I'm not doing work in my room, I drain the diffuser and put the other two like essential oils that I have, which is like what is it? It's peppermint and like orange or something. So it's like a citrusy peppermint smell, which honestly, it's not bad. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's like my fuck off smell. Um,
Interesting.
yeah. And then for the podcasts, I do lemon and peppermint. So
Oh, it's a fucking special blend.
I know it's so like, you know, pseudoscience. It's so bro science, but for me, I just feel like that works. Like
Fully.
I'm so affected by my immediate environment that I need something to kind of like get me into a space.
Yeah. I think it's definitely that. And it could possibly also be like along with that, just like the fact that you convince yourself that that's what you need, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Which is what I was saying about like making a ritual out of going to sleep. Like if you do it every day, you know, you can kind of convince yourself that it's time and you're ready and that it's a good thing.
right. I like that. Yeah. Okay, so like if I created my own smell for going to sleep,
Yes. Why wouldn't you do that?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it because I hate going to sleep. So I'm just like, why
Right.
would I put energy toward this?
Oh no, you don't hate going to sleep and you can't say it out loud ever again, bro. Otherwise, you'll always hate going to sleep.
Bro, that's actually kind of true. I saw this quote the other day on Instagram where it was like, you know, don't even like don't joke about mental illness or things that you don't truly believe, because if you say a falsity even in jest, your soul doesn't know the difference.
Whoa,
I was like, wow.
that's good.
Yeah, isn't it?
That's so, dude, on the realest level, I believe that.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like that saying, like the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Like
Mm,
your brain knows the difference when you don't like rep out the right amount of fucking reps in your last set of your workout. Like, and you're gonna be more preempt to do that like next time you go lift. And then like you're losing more and more that kind of thing, dude. Because you like convince yourself that like your brain won't forget that. Maybe your soul won't forget that.
yeah. Oh my God. Do you do that? Do you blow your burps out when you burp?
Do I know?
Dude, I always follow it up with like a, uh, I always have to blow it out a little.
That's funny, bro.
I don't want it to stagnate. Um,
Right, right.
but yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, with lifting, it's a little different because it's like this feels like work mode. And like I feel like my brain has a few different modes, but
Mm,
when I'm in work mode, it's just like I enter this weird sort of flow state where it's like this is gonna get done and then that's gonna get done and then this is gonna get
right.
done. And it's just like, all right, bang, 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 bang. Um, but when I shift to like relaxation mode, then I am so divorced from like anything related to work, whether it's like lifting or schoolwork or just like even like doing DoorDash to like make some cash. I'm just so off of it. You know, I find myself like obviously DoorDash is something you just like sign up for whenever. So like if I know I'm gonna do it that night, I say to myself in the morning, okay, maintain this mindset up until about 6 o'clock, and then you're just gonna be stuck till 8. And then once I get back, I'm like, okay, all right, like boof this essential oil, and then you can kind of like just chill out.
Dude, I think I like that. I actually really think that we were onto something with those flow states, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, like it's good to be able to like just to rephrase this, it's good to be able to wear those different hats like in those different situations. Like as a man or a woman, like or even us now, but like yeah, but like later in life when we have like a lot of responsibilities, like that saying like don't bring work home kind of thing. Like if you can flow into a work state and then into a home state, like the way that you're gonna act with your like partner is way the energy and the affection and all the different emotions are like like at levels, right? And like so if I'm with like Carolyn, right, like all my levels are like I'm giving like a lot of like energy and love and empathy and that kind of thing. Or when I'm with my kids, I'm giving a lot of that too, but maybe like teaching and like when your levels are at different places and then you have to switch, like putting on a new hat, entering a new room, like
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's why, I mean, people can laugh about it, but I swear by this. I love the essential oils because smells and tastes are so evocative of different memories and like just states of thinking.
that's true.
So, if I had to take like sniff of an essential oil, but that gets me into this specific flow state or way of acting, it's like it's just a tool,
Mm.
you know? It's just another
Yeah.
tool.
Don't you have a glass of wine with dinner to unwind?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's similar. I mean, I'm sure for a lot of people it's the smell and the taste and the feeling
The
because really,
ritual.
yes, exactly. One
Mm.
glass of wine doesn't really do anything to you chemically. It's not getting you drunk. It's not really unwinding you unless you have like no tolerance. But like what adult doesn't have some tolerance to alcohol? It's
Right.
it's more so just your senses are getting this input and reminding you of this way of being.
That
Um,
time every day that you relax, or that time every day that you're excited to go to sleep.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, beautiful thing, like essential oils have nothing to do with like messing you up. Um,
Right.
so it's just like, why wouldn't I?
It's
Um,
just a smell.
yeah, it's just the smell. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a power. Yeah,
But
that's dope.
since it's so evocative, it's like you just get transported there right that minute. Like
Hmm.
dude, I advise anybody to go about that route. Like, yeah, there's a ton of weird culture around like essential oils and crystals and like moon water and stuff like that. You don't got to buy into all of that. Just use it to exploit the way that your brain works. Like, yeah.
Having a diffuser and some essential oils does not put you in the on the crazy train. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like that's pretty normal. And like if you ever smell that shit, it smells right.
It's potent. It's so potent.
But it's a nice mist, and
Yeah.
you breathe that in, and you're just like, oh, it just smells so good.
Well, I don't even, when I'm trying to first get into it, sometimes I won't even put it in my diffuser. Like, I'll check this out. Like, you take one of these and then just like unscrew it. Normally, if I'm like, oh, I need to get into the state, you just go, and then you feel good. Like,
Really?
yeah, because it's like, okay, you get a super, super concentrated like hit of that smell.
Mm.
Like this is the lemon one. Um, so it's like I just smell the lemon and I'm like, oh, okay, it begins. And then I'll unscrew the lavender and then smell that and I'm
Nice, dude.
like
That's sick.
yeah, I had that pumping last night. I was doing this breathing meditation sitting in my bed. Um, and I had put like 5 drops of the lemon and 5 drops of the lavender in. So I was just like super relaxed. And I was doing this breathing meditation where it's just like it's called like I think it was called like tidal breaths or something, but you fully like you arch your shoulders back on the breath up and cave them in on the breath in. So
Cool.
it's like you lay down, close your eyes, and just then consciously arch your shoulders forward. Laying down, I was counting it out. I was already very relaxed because I had that scent going. I counted it out. I had 18 on my inhale, 18 on my exhale. And I found
Seconds?
seconds. Yeah. Well, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, not one Mississippi, two. But even
Still, that's a long time to breathe in, dude.
but dude, this was the weird part. Like I haven't been vaping for a while. And I hadn't smoked in like 3 days. So I think my lungs were just feeling happy. Um, but it was like I could just keep going. I could feel my lungs like over expanding, but I didn't feel that weird kind of hypoxic stress where you'd
Uh-huh.
start to go like, do I have too much oxygen? Do I have too little? Like it was just like it comes in, I breathe it out. It comes in,
So
I breathe it out. Like, yeah. Very like that was probably like the only time I've gone to that very specific like meditative state where I was only conscious of what my lungs were doing.
that's cool.
Yeah, right? Like
That's really cool.
I wish I could enter that like just anytime, but it's hard to get to.
It is, dude. The best part about like focusing on your breath for me is like same thing, laying in bed, going to sleep or whatever. Just
Yeah.
taking these like really deep breaths in, but like
Ugh.
just exaggerating the out so much more. And just like at the end of my breath, I feel like I can feel my heart beating like slower when I'm like laying on my, yeah, like depending on how I'm laying or whatever, I can literally feel like the blood in my head like coming in slower.
What the fuck?
It's nice, dude. It's just like like if you breathe really deep in and out, and on the way out, like you've done it enough times where you're slow, and then probably a lot like what you were doing. Like if you hold it when it's empty, you start to like feel like your body is slowing down a lot, dude.
I,
It's
I
so sick.
I did notice that my body was slowing down, but I wasn't paying
Yeah.
a lot of attention on my heartbeat. I gotta do that next time. But dude, listen, I gotta pee so bad. I
Good
don't know,
noise.
like I've been chugging this water. Uh,
All good.
I'll be right back.
Nate and Hale are taking a break, a bathroom break.
You know what I need? Like, I feel like whenever I get high, I'm in like susceptible state. Bro, I need you. You're so good at this. I need you to like fix my mindset about like, you know what I was telling you about with like my issue with I feel like I'm moving so like I'm not moving farther left. I'm just getting more frustrated with the other side. Like
Yeah.
what it I I I feel like I'm understanding that all of these views are like so toxic because like I look at the conservative ideology and I see like selfishness, I see greed, I see an inability to look outside of yourself. But like then again, I'm like, you know, why am I thinking this way? Like I think a large part of it is partly that I'm being isolated, being at home, but it's also like I feel like I've been burned too many times because it's like I feel like I can't convert like people who do think super conservatively to like more progressive ideology. But then like, dude, I saw this meme today. Um like are you following Peter from rugby on Instagram?
Maybe. I think so.
He put this meme on his story about like this guy was like protesting the lockdowns and he was like, you guys really think lockdowns are good when all these billionaires have amassed so much more wealth? People aren't able to support their small businesses that are closing down. People are going homeless and they're losing like their income and aren't able to feed their families. And I was just like, holy fuck. Like, you are so close to realizing what these issues are. It's like, because you think in a cement way instead of thinking abstractly, you can't see how there are all of these other issues that affect a ton of other people and make these kinds of things you're talking about happen all the time. It's only because you're going through a pandemic that somebody else happens to be going through that you're able to see these issues. You're so close to being liberal, but you just don't get it. You know, it was like the most self-aware but unaware shit I've ever seen.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, dude, it made me like pause for a second and like reframe.
God,
I was like, you know, um,
your door just opened.
oh, what's up, Kira? What? Yeah, you can have the charger, dude.
What up, Kira? Welcome to Blissfully Unaware.
Well, good luck.
Word.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries.
But yeah. So like I noticed this guy was like so close to it and it's like what am I doing by adopting this mindset of you know all people of that ideology are bad. I'm distancing myself from being able to like bring them to a place where they can help other people, you know.
Right.
But it's also like what kind of grandiosity is making me think that I somehow have the answers that would get somebody to another place or that my way, I mean, you know, I'm going to step back on that because I'm 100% certain my way of thinking on this is correct, which might sound fucked up, but I know I'm right about it. And like,
Well, maybe you are, but I do think you'd be willing to listen. Just like, do you feel like it's too much to listen to? Like it's just all over the place. You just see shit that just tweaks you out.
no, I don't have any issue listening to it. But when I do, I mean, this is an issue I've had with my roommates. Um,
Mm,
it's an issue I've had with friends from home. Anybody
yeah.
who's conservative, it's just like I hear these things and like I hear shit that they say that I'm like, oh, I feel like I need to now adopt a perspective where I'm like showing them like, hey, look, like I know you're a good person. so act like it.
Mm.
Here is what you should be thinking. And I have conversations with like people who do not think similar to me at all. And all I realize is that they don't really understand what we could do to get to the place that we need to get to. I do notice that a lot of people who think more conservatively only think about the system that we have right now. And I don't know if it's a thing of not having hope for the future or what, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, when you find like, I don't know, dude, it just feels like a lot of weight to put. Like, do you think, all right, let me ask you this. Do you
Yeah.
think your friends at home, like that you've known for a while, do you think like if you said to them like, oh, like, okay, I'm gonna try and like convince you to think more like me, like, do you think that they would fuck with that?
Well, most of them are really liberal.
Right.
Just, I mean, they're all really smart people. And the
Mm-hmm.
problem is the dumbest kids we're friends with are pretty conservative. So
Okay.
it's like I'm worried that that has created some kind of weird stigma in my head because these kids aren't even capable of like intelligent conversation. It's like,
Mm.
well, we're talking about something. Let's say we're talking about like healthcare. And we're like, well, what would happen if we did do more of a socialized approach to this? Like, what are the possible ramifications of this? And they're like, well, we'd have higher taxes. And it's like, yeah, but like, let's do some cost benefit analysis. Like, what do you think would happen? And they're like, well, we'd have higher taxes. They're just not capable of thinking at that higher level to
Yeah.
realize that, oh, okay, if we socialized healthcare, we would have more people who didn't have to. I mean, one, we would have businesses that didn't have to support healthcare for all of their employers, which would give businesses a huge break, which is a thing that I think a lot of conservatives could get behind.
Mm.
Two, we would have better standard of living for the elderly and anybody who is going through something that they would use sick leave for in like their working environment. So you'd have less people using extensive sick leave and just waiting out a disease rather than getting treatment for it. Like you wouldn't have as many people searching for a job that gave them some kind of medical benefits. So you have more people going out and opening up small businesses and enterprising into things that they thought needed to be made. So you'd have more innovation. Like, and these people, like these conservative friends I have, like, don't realize that. Like, they only can deal with the immediate repercussions of it that affected them and them alone.
Mm.
It's like, come on, man, you have to kind of broaden your perspective. And I think that's where my frustration is coming from because I'm through the interactions and conversations I've had with those kinds of people and some of the people I know at Springfield, it's just like, you guys all think from a me first, me centric, and limited point of view where you can't look at the larger picture. Whereas every liberal I talk to, and in all fairness, there are really fucking stupid liberals who don't get the important issues and only harp on small issues that would be fixed if we went after those larger problems. You know what I mean? Like the people who are like, oh, you know, make sure like you don't recycle, you're a piece of fucking shit. It's like, well, recycling doesn't happen anymore, stupid.
Yeah.
We need to actually like do comprehensive like climate reform.
I
Like,
love telling people that. Oh,
yeah,
you recycle? Like,
it doesn't matter.
we're burning it.
Yeah,
Did you know they're gonna burn it?
yeah.
Like, I know that's so like diabolical, and like
I,
burning it sounds like way worse than it is. There's actually like not like it'd be better to recycle it, but the damage to the environment from burning like plastic the way we burn it is not actually that bad. Like it's not good, but it's not like as
right,
bad as it
right.
sounds. But
Yeah.
dude, like I think the whole thing coming back to this, Nate, for like you, do you think that there's like a way that you could convince yourself that like or not convince yourself? Do you think that like what do you think it would take for you to understand or like to practice not like thinking that you need to change somebody else's mind?
Dude,
Like someone needs to change, like someone needs to think the way that you think.
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know what my problem is. I think I have to trip this out of my system. Like it's not even thinking the way that I mean, I maybe it is really thinking the way I think. I don't have any
Well,
issues with people who think differently than me, but when it comes to politics, it bothers me so much because at least with the conservative perspective, it's all about like I can see the issues that arise from these kinds of practices. Like, for example, we have a family friend who owns his own small business, and he said in confidence to us, "Oh yeah, I don't really pay taxes on my income." And we're like, "Are you fucking serious?" He's like, "Yeah, but the way I do it is super safe. I won't get caught." We're like, we're not worried that you're going to get caught. We're worried because your two daughters who you're putting through college are getting massive amounts of financial aid that's being taken away from somebody who would actually need that. And you're not paying taxes on the money you're getting, which it is such a lack of social responsibility. It is the most immature way to go about it. You have benefited so much from public school systems, um, public programs like financial aid, state colleges, roads, the mail service, subsidized public health care. Like all of these kinds of things you have benefited from in massive ways, and you're unwilling to pay your income back into that. Guess what? You're not an American. You're a fucking traitor. That's how I view it. It's like
yeah,
it grosses me out because I love this country so much and I want it to be the best it can be. And I see all of these people that are masquerading under the guise of or a patriotic party that hangs American flags wherever they go, but doesn't enact the values of the founding fathers in the Constitution. Like, I mean, dude, even like the rhetoric going around on the right now. I mean, it's been going around for a while, but about like it, illegal immigrants shouldn't be like real citizens. It's like, guess what? Since the beginning of this country, we have never once had a census that didn't include even undocumented immigrants to this country. And that is because America was predicated on the idea of being a haven for driven, compassionate, and just rugged people who wanted to create something beautiful. And we were trying to escape aristocracy and greed that existed within Britain. I mean, that's what this country was founded on.
yeah. And
So,
I don't know what the solution is with immigration and illegal immigrants, but I will say like maybe we do need more people like that are ready to be better.
I
Like a
mean,
lot of our people here are just stuck.
dude, I couldn't agree more. You have immigrants coming here who some are undocumented, but they're hanging out outside Lowe's going, "Give me any work you can possibly give me. I'll fucking do it. I don't care what the pay is."
Hmm.
That is the American spirit.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we should be propping those people up. They are inspiring all of us to do better. And it is fucked up that we treat them like garbage. We pay them nothing. We're trying to get them off of any kind. I mean, they can't even get like welfare checks. They don't get unemployment. Like, it's
I
so
know.
fucked up.
Well, I guess an argument to that would be if they're not paying taxes, then
But they
you
are. That's the thing. Even as an illegal immigrant, you pay taxes. You pay
really.
income tax. You pay sales tax on every purchase you make. If you own a house, you pay tax on
Oh,
anything
that
you
makes
have.
sense. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. But people, yeah, so people will put them into like actual systems with like outside of like, paying them under the table or whatever.
Well, there's no system to be made. It's like anybody who receives any kind of money. I mean, if you were getting paid 100% under the table, and there is somehow no paper trail of you existing in the US, you won't get any taxes. But even if you're renting an apartment, I mean, you would
Right,
basically
right,
have to be a migrant worker who comes into the US on weekdays, but then drives home as soon as your shift is done, or you just live in a tent somewhere.
that
But
makes sense.
if you're renting, like you still get assessed taxes. Like
Right.
I mean, the right does not want to pay attention to that. And you know what? I think that's what my issue is. I'm overgeneralizing because there are a lot of very, very considerate, empathetic, and intelligent people on the right who pay attention to that, and they just have small issues with what the left does. Um,
I think Nate, I think you're I don't I think that yeah, don't overgeneralize, but I know you think that way. What I'm saying is like I think the problem is like you just have such a hard time like not like not being okay with somebody else's like opinion, you know what I mean? Like you just can't like
yeah,
it feels like you have so much like because you care so much about it, like which it makes sense. Just like you have so much like connection with that. You might have like overstepped your political like you might have tied a little bit too much emotion into your politics where like you're like ripping your heart out and like trying to give it to people everywhere you go because like that's how much you care about it, but like that might be taken away from you, you know.
bro. I don't think you're wrong, but it's so hard for me not to, because like I see where I am. I have had so much privilege. Like I've been given so much, and I see so many people around me who haven't. And it's like, I mean, look at nature. Nothing in nature exists for itself. The sun does not shine for itself. It shines for plants to be able to undergo photosynthesis. But then they create glucose and other sugars, which feed animals that eat it. And those animals that eat plants feed carnivores. And those carnivores die and decompose. And, you know, those decomposers, the fungi, break it down into nitrogen and other kind of proteins and feed the trees again. So it's like,
Mhm.
why the fuck would anybody in our culture divorce themselves so far from our nature to say I exist only for myself? It boggles my mind and makes me so upset because it feels like the death of the human race. It feels like, how can we ever come together if some people would actively vote for something that only helps themselves? Like, dude, it honestly fucking breaks my heart. It makes me so sad because it just seems like the most nihilistic and fucked up dystopian way of living. Like
Yeah.
it's not hard to care about your neighbor, you know? I
Hmm.
mean, like I know you, but I don't know your neighbor. But I love your neighbor just as much as I love you. I want both of you to succeed to the best of your abilities and to be given every opportunity to do that.
Mm.
And yeah, I think what's bothering me is the fact that there's a faction of people within this country that don't want certain people to succeed. It's like if you're not
Yeah.
white, if you're not male, if you're not Christian, you shouldn't succeed.
It's
If you're
just like it's yeah, and it's probably not for some people. It's probably not even the other people. It's just like if they succeed, like if the other people succeed, then they won't succeed as much. You know.
which is so fucking gross.
Yeah, I know. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
I think that's what's really fucking me up. But like
Yeah.
the problem is my problem with this is I don't think I have the wrong perspective for thinking that.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so either.
But if I'm gonna reconcile that and not care as much, or you know don't be as preachy, it's like my goal is to bring people from the right who are smart and are capable of that abstract thinking, um, to the left. But when I can't do that, it's just like, okay, now I'm starting to get jaded. I'm like, are they really just shitty people? I know they're not. Some are amazing. Like, I know some fucking amazing people who identify as, I mean, they're registered as Republicans. But I'm like, oh, you are, you know, so, so compassionate and so like thoughtful. It's like, how can you really be a Republican? And then like I talk to those people and it's like they're just not educated enough. Like they don't get that what they're voting for is hurting everybody around them and even
Mhm.
themselves to an extent if they're not already independently wealthy.
Right.
It's this weird sort of con that's been going on for hundreds of years in this country. I mean, don't even get me started on the fact that there's vilification of moderate left ideas that have been called extremist left even by like Democrats. I mean, this is why I hate the Democratic Party so much.
Mm.
Biden let himself get bullied into not supporting the Green New Deal. It's like, how R-worded are you? Like,
It feels
it's,
like everyone up there is just slow.
but dude, it bothers me because we've seen this trend 3 fucking times in US history alone. We
Mhm.
have a period of extreme progressivism where we make a ton of beautiful changes and we have this period of economic prosperity, but then people get comfortable with that prosperity
Yeah.
and we try to progress even more and people go, I'm not comfortable with that because it just doesn't jive with my perspective. And then they start voting conservative and our economy tanks and everybody starts doing worse and then it starts all over again. I mean,
That's such a human cycle.
but it fucking sucks. Like,
Mhm.
why can't more people understand to look at history? Like, if I didn't give a shit, if I didn't give a shit about anybody but me, then I would be a conservative. But if since I give a shit about other people, I'm a
Yeah.
liberal. It's not that hard. Just
Mhm.
care about others. Like, too many people get caught up in this fucked up view of like Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder, where it's like, oh, they're gonna make you say their pronouns. It's like, okay, you fucking asshole. How hard is it to say they or them? Like, grow up. You're not 14. Like, you're a
Yeah.
functioning adult who's like a part of this huge culture in the US. Like, understand there's gonna be people who are different from you. Like, I don't see a conservative on the street saying things that are fucked up. I don't go up to them and go, "Hey, fuck you, you're a piece of shit." I just kind of go, "Okay." Like, I
Yeah.
want a little bit more faith in humanity today, but whatever. This is probably
Yeah.
everything. Like, yeah, I have so much energy about this, and I hate that I do, but I'd have so much guilt if I didn't, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense, dude. I think it's definitely it's just like finding that line, where you're trying to I guess my best advice is just like don't let it pull you under because like sometimes I think it does. It kind of
Yeah,
pulls you under. And like I feel like you can't help anybody, you know what I mean, if you can't help yourself, that kind of whole spiel.
that's some true shit.
And that's not really being selfish because like just like the tree, bro, like it gives its leaves for the nutrients in the ground, but eventually, like you said, bro, it's like through the soil, it's gonna get the energy back and then
Yeah,
it's gonna give it again. So like if you can't give to yourself, then you can't give to anyone. But I know what you mean, and we have talked about it like off the podcast a few times as well, just like going back and forth about certain things and just like it's a tough place to be right now because I've been having this slow realization too that like it's been smoke and mirrors like my whole life. And like now I'm looking at I'm just peering down at like the great United States of America and like looking and being like, damn, like this isn't what they told us it was in the history books. Like
Yeah.
this isn't like we're not even self-respecting.
Yeah.
Like we're not even whole. We're not winning. Like we're not doing anything. It feels like there's few things we're doing right, and it feels like, the gears are just turning like into the ground.
I
And
know.
like you said, dude, I think that whole thing about the human, like just like human cycles, like I think they say wealth only stays in the family for like 3 generations on average. And then people get worse and worse with their money as they get spoiled.
Right.
And then eventually, like 3, 4 generations later, there's like some single mom who used to have money in their family and started all over. And then that daughter was like, I want a better life, for myself or whatever. It's like, it's the same thing. And
Yeah.
then she starts pursuing that like success and like just being comfortable and complacent. And I think that's where we are as a country. Like that's a shitty place to be, like in your own self progression. Like you don't want to be comfortable, you don't want to be content fully with who you are. Like you could always be a better version of yourself. And like it feels like there's a whole like theme of complacency where we're just like, especially with COVID, dude, we're just throwing money out and we're just okay with this and we're okay with that, and like no one's okay with anything, but like all these things are happening, like, and it's just like fuck, like I don't know. It seems like we're in the slime, dude.
Yeah.
And that is something that like really winds me up too. Like I know like you to a different extent, but I say all that to say like I totally feel you. Like the whole it just like I said, looking down on America right now, dude. Like it's not looking great, and
No.
that's depressing as shit.
Yeah, it really is, because we're capable of so much more.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I don't want to like jerk off America, but dude, we have done so many amazing things.
yeah,
And I mean, for a while there, we perfectly towed the line between socialism and capitalism in a way that supported those people who hadn't quite figured it out yet, but still gave them the incentive to go after it. But then the 80s came around and we were like, okay, hey, greed is fucking cool. And everybody was like, all right, we're going to destroy this economy. Like,
that's when everyone stopped doing drugs.
oh, yeah, that's, dude, okay, that is a much bigger conversation. Like, that, I mean, honestly, there's so many people, I've noticed it only within the conservative, like, I guess, parties, but mostly within the Republican Party. I know some people who like won't smoke weed because they're like, oh, it's bad for you. But they're drinking alcohol every night. It's like, you're so dumb. Like it's so like
Well, Nate, my parents used to be like that, and I can totally tell that they're not really as much anymore, because like we'll bring up all of them, I will like bring up weed or whatever, and they'll be like fine with it, like you know what I mean, like the like, but they are still like a little bit like, and they used to be big time, like I told you, like that fucking cop came into my school and like told us all this fake news about weed and how it's a gateway drug and all that.
that's
um
so dumb.
yeah, but like that's such a
Gateway
popular.
drug. That's like, dude, that's like people who say psychedelics will make you jump off of a building. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You sound like somebody who's been sober their whole life and whose wife doesn't fuck them anymore. honestly, honestly, Fireman Dave, I don't know if you've gotten pooned in 24 years. Like, it's real weird.
It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
The blatant, especially to back you up here, the blatant um just disregard for the facts
Yes.
within people who define themselves on like being factually correct and not like overly emotional. Like that's their whole fucking like tagline.
Right.
But it's like, well, it's like so convenient. And again, this is like a generalization, but it's always like we're so typical, like we're so typically um choosy of when we want to be a good person, like when it's easy for us to be a good person.
Yeah.
Big time, big time. Like it's easy for me to be like a good guy when like I have nothing to do and I like offer to finish the like last three dishes or whatever for the night. But like
Right.
when I'm fucking running out of the house, but my mom had a long day and like everyone's waiting for me to go somewhere else, and then I fucking do the dishes anyway so she can relax. Like that's like most, like I'm not saying that's a real story, but like most people will just run out of the house because it's not easy right then in your life to do the right thing or to
Yeah.
be a good guy. I
Well,
don't like that double standard, that inconsistency.
yeah, but I mean, that's not to get back to this, but that's what the entire conservative party's predicated on.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's so weird. I mean, even like the Democratic Party does it too, but it's like just be real. That's it. Like
Yeah.
only fake people like other fake people because they're equally as broken as them.
Right.
It's like, dude, we have some similarities, but I think we have more differences than similarities.
Yeah.
But like I love spending time with you because you're real. Like you don't put on any face, you know.
Mm.
And I mean that's the reason I like hanging out with anybody. It's like
Yeah.
why as a politician or just as a person are you going to put on this fake face where you'll only follow what this party that you've kind of subjugated yourself to is going to tell you what to do? Like, okay, if that's the case, all that means is you can't think for yourself. If you
Right.
can't think for yourself, then you're not living. You're just not living.
Yeah.
Like, so either wake up or be asleep forever and contribute nothing,
Yeah.
But I grieve for you if you choose the latter. I grieve for you and my heart breaks. And
Yeah.
some people just stay that way their whole life. That shit's
And I
really
think that like the more you come to like peace with that reality, the easier it will be for you to focus on actually like trying to put that energy into people that aren't a lost cause. Like you can't, like, you know what I mean? Like you can't
yeah,
expect yourself to be like, oh, I'm going to change that person and that's going to make the difference. No, like that person's going to change themselves or they're not. And like,
right.
that's okay. Like that's not
Mhm.
your problem.
Dude, that transitions perfectly into like I've been thinking about this recently. Like I've had this come to moment. Like it's not about just instilling all of these values in people because you can't really do that. It's
Mhm.
just let me shower this person with love, validation, unconditional respect.
Mhm.
Like that's what changes people.
That's
Like,
true.
and I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but I am so, so grateful that I figured it out at 21 rather than at 35,
Yeah.
Like,
The
I mean,
walls start coming down, bro, when you do that. And then you
yeah,
start to see why they are the way they are. And they start to see the way they are. You know what I mean? It's like when you're able to like give that energy to somebody else and then like literally like this woman thought I was stealing her parking spot this summer at the beach. This is like an example that I actually did this, but I don't do this all the time. Like,
yeah,
but it actually like this is a good like proof that that kind of thing works. Like literally we were at the beach, Carolyn and I were like parking somewhere, and this woman like gets out of her car and she's like comes up to my window and she's like, well, I can't get out now, like, and then I was like, okay, I'm not parking there. And she goes, well, I can't move right now because where you are. And I was like, okay, just try and talk to me like a human. Like, let's just talk. Let's just talk.
yeah,
Like, what's going on? I literally said that. And she was like, well, I just need to leave. I was like, okay, I'll just move. Like, that's all.
yeah.
That's just try talking to me like a human.
Bro,
Like,
good for
maybe we
you.
should just hashtag that. Like, people aren't talking to each other. Like, there's other people. Like,
Hashtag
you know what
talk
I
to
mean?
humans. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's weird.
I forget why we were talking about that.
The whole thing about
Oh, showering with love and the walls. The wall is coming down, bro. That's the most important thing. There's this J. Cole concept. He's got this song called Change. And it goes like what? Oh, you're good, bro.
I'm listening.
Okay, you can hear from the city. um he goes like, what good is revolution when you know what you're gonna do. Um the only real change happens right inside of you. And it's like this whole idea of like the oppressed becomes the oppressor, and like we're in this cycle right now.
Yeah.
And like he said, like basically he doesn't believe in like a big revolution, and a rising of a new like higher order, because like the corrupted become the corrupter kind of thing. And like what he's basically saying is like in the song is like the change has to happen inside of each person individually, and that's like the main point. It's like you can't like have a revolution with a bunch of people, because then like absolute power corrupts absolutely that whole thing. Like you got to change yourself.
Yeah.
I got to send you that song. That's one of his best songs.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
listen to it if you do. Yeah, I mean, we made this point in a podcast. I don't even know what episode, but it was forever ago.
Mhm.
Like any important revolution has some kind of music associated with it. Like
Right.
the lessons from any kind of music just hits you so hard. Like, um, I was actually, not to change the subject. I don't want to fully move on from this, but short tangent. Like I was going back and listening to Kids See Ghosts by Cuddy and Kanye.
Yeah.
Fucking dude, amazing album. Like
Yeah. There's some really good songs on there, dude.
yeah, for a full collaboration, I was like, holy fucking shit. Like the vision behind this is it's so consistent. It's so evocative of what I think they were going for. Like this kind of like come to God moment where we're like, okay, let's both reconcile these like depressive and some would say schizophrenic like issues that they both dealt with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's reestablish our place in the universe.
Mm.
And I was just like, I was on this really really long like Mac and Lil Sky's wave where I was just like, I can't stop listening to this.
Yeah.
That was bumming me out. But then I listened through to this album after uh, me and like my friend who lives down the street, we smoked like a Keith Oli bowl because we were out of weed. So we were just like scraping up what we had. And
Word.
Keith obviously gets you to like a different place.
Yeah.
We were listening to like this album. We were just like, holy fucking shit. I realized like, oh my God, it's all about these like ups and downs and reconciliations with the self where you forgive yourself for past sins and
Mm.
really just rediscover what your original motive and goal was. And I think we should be doing that more as humans within this society of the US. Like, I don't agree with a lot of people. But and this is where I always hit a stopping block. I can oh fuck. I can be more tolerant of other people's points of view,
Mm.
but I feel like if I compromise between my point of view and the opposite point of view, then the only thing we are arriving at is a solution that benefits the less fortunate less.
Mm-hmm.
And that feels wrong to me. It feels morally bankrupt.
Yeah. That's the problem with compromise in its like entirety.
Well, I don't think it applies to most situations. I think it applies, this specific thing that I'm talking about applies to this situation between between progressive and conservative fiscal policy and social policy. you can't compromise. Like, I mean, if you want, we can do a laundry list of this. Like, socially, conservatives would say transgender people shouldn't have rights. Progressives would say transgender people should have rights. So to
Mhm.
compromise, what's the compromise there? Transgender people should only be considered half a person. That's like a 3/5 compromise. You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly what I was gonna bring up, dude. But yeah, that's like the problem with government compromise is that it like brings it. That's exactly what the 3/5 compromise was, dude. Like couldn't decide on a bunch of shit, and the the South just threw, or yeah, the South either threw it out or the North argued for it, like as so at least they were worth like something of a
Oh,
person.
well, the 3/5 compromise, if you want to get really bummed out, that wasn't
Yeah.
even, that was not about individual rights.
No, I know. It just was like thrown in there.
Yeah, I mean, it was only so that they could get more
It
representatives.
was a compromising piece to the that's the problem. All those shoot offs, it's like let's throw this in here. Like the North wanted them to be a full like person, like a free person, and the South was like no. And then like the big topic that they were talking about, I forget what it was just like the Constitution, right?
Uh,
Writing the whole
it
Constitution.
other way around. The North didn't want slaves to be counted because they were just workers and they weren't given full rights. And the South argued that they should count as a full person only for census issues because the census
Oh,
determines how
that's
much,
right. That's right.
right, it's how much federal aid is given to these different communities.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
And it determines how many representatives you get. So,
Mhm. Right. And that they didn't want to be misrepresented. That's right.
yeah. I mean, dude, this is almost the problem with democracy. With
Right.
democracy, you have to get so many people who are just like living together. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I just want to. This is why, like, do you remember when you texted me the other day? You were like, what happened? You fall off the map? It's like, this is why I go into hermetic episodes. It's just like, I get overwhelmed by the world around me. And I'm like, everybody seems so fucking either stupid, uneducated, or self-interested and greedy. It's like I just can't deal with this world for a little bit.
Mm.
And I wish I wasn't as affected by that, but
Yeah, no, dude, I think a lot of people are affected by that, but not necessarily by politics. Some are, but like everything, everyone just probably has like a day or two where they're like, I can't deal with like this part, or like they have like something that they hold on to that they have a hard time processing, and like they need to take a step away. It's definitely not like uncommon, but it's certainly not preferable.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's just like, yeah, how do you deal with that? Like
yeah,
meditation helps, exercise helps, eating right helps.
yep,
But
sleeping.
what happens when you get disappointed in your fellow man? There's no diet for that that makes you feel better. You're just like, okay, some people's moral fiber fucking sucks.
Yeah, that's just one of those fucking hard pills to swallow.
But why do we have to swallow it? Like, why can't it be something where it's like, I'm just not going to ingest that pill? Like,
Yeah, well, you don't have to feed into it, but like him doing his thing is like that's not something you can necessarily change. Like, or even if it is, like it might not be worth your energy and at that moment. Like, you know what I mean?
bro, this is how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's the Matrix, right? When Neo gets taken out of it, it's like, um, oh, I've never used my legs before. This is like, they feel so weak. What's going on? And it's like, if you get somebody, like one of my friends from home used to be a staunch conservative, and then we got him to start smoking weed with us, and we just talked at him about this stuff. And he was like, whoa, what the fuck? I didn't know all this stuff was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's not what Fox News says. That's not what my dad says. Like,
Right.
and that's like another very, very weird thing I've noticed with the right. every guy I know who's conservative or just aligned with the GOP has like really bad daddy issues. Like on, on some, not to sound like, homophobic or anything, but on some super fucking gay shit, every Republican is like, I just want my daddy to approve of me. It's
Okay.
bro,
It's dude, it's all that trauma you're talking about. Like there's extreme trauma on the left too. It's just like people
yeah,
have fucked up
it's
things
just
in their life.
it's two different ways of expressing it. The left
Yeah.
puts it out toward the other people, and the right is like, I'm just going to sit on this and it's going to make me angry and a little bit mean, but I'm not going to take it out on other people. And I can appreciate both of those sides, but yeah, I think you're definitely right. It is trauma. If I was a better person, I'd be able to deal with it, but
Well, no, I mean, dude, not like you can't always deal with that all the time. Sometimes, like, it's gonna put you over the edge, Like,
yeah.
it bothers me too. A lot of shit like that. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think it's got to be. It's just got to be. I think it's just a work in progress, and like, you can't rush that kind of thing. Like, you're just gonna literally, like, who knows, like, how long you'll struggle with this kind of thing, but like the more you think about it and the more like proactive you are, that's what I've always found. Like certain things like that I've slowly started to pick up on is like working on consistency in my life and my schedule and routine. It's like if you don't like really fucking put yourself in the right mind state and like the right like surroundings to like effectively think about and change your habit, then you're not gonna, you know what I mean? And that sounds like super obvious, but like little things could help you, like not going on YouTube and like watching something that's going to fucking piss you off, or not going on social media as much, like, or looking at people who are going to post something that you don't agree with that's going to like set you off, like, you know
Yeah,
what I like,
dude.
not to never consume that because that would be bad as well, but like if you find yourself like doing that a lot, that might be a negative.
Yeah. That last one you were talking about, like um watching stuff that like people post, that's my biggest thing.
Mm.
Like I see shit that people post sometimes and I'm like, oh, you're better than that. You seem like such a nice person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you know what a great example of this is? Did I already talk about this? I saw this meme earlier today. Yeah, I was talking about this, the one that Peter posted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah. No, you did talk about that, and that was really interesting.
yeah, it's so close to being on the right path. It's just like something fucked up halfway through. It's like, dude, just yeah, at our age, it we want to look out for ourselves because that's biologically programmed into us. Like, in order to become the alpha male at this stage, we need to make sure we're getting as much food, success, opportunity as possible.
Right.
But we don't have to survive anymore. Everybody gets to survive. So all you have to do is be smart enough to break your biology. And you have a ton of people who are actively choosing not to break their biology.
Yeah.
They're going, I'm only going to do things for myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, great. All that means is you're fucking weak. If you can only succeed by putting others down, it means you're weak, you're not a leader, and you're hurting anybody else around you. A real leader props up other people's around them and eats last. If you're eating first, all you are is a fucking scavenger, especially if you didn't make the kill. You know what I mean?
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more.
Yeah.
And that is so something to get fucking pissed off about, dude. I couldn't agree more. And that's how the majority of people in this country come into power, is by feeding themselves first. And that's just something we have to change. I mean, that structure has to be fixed, because like you can have the power to potentially, like, in a position so high in the government that you have the power to like elicit a real change.
Yeah.
Like more often than most, like you got there by not changing anything, and now you have a bunch of people that you have to pay back. Like,
Yeah,
you just kept everything the same, and like
I know.
that's what's hard, and that goes like from the top to the bottom. Like you see those people that like get like hall monitor in fucking middle school, and they just become like a huge dick in like the TV shows, or like
Yeah,
they become like a little regional manager, and like their life has sucked and people have been mean to them, so then they become mean. Like it's that whole same thing. Like when you get into that position, it's like what it's like leadership is like such a reflection of how you process your trauma, or like how like you show
fuck.
your trauma outward to other people. When you're in charge of other people, there is a million different responses, but when you're the one who's being told what to do, there's only one response.
Right.
So it's like the colors of like who you are can really be showed when you're put in that position. Like,
Dude, okay. You know how we've talked before about like having the key in the door but not turning it?
yeah,
You just turned a key in a door for me. Like,
where
dude, what the fuck? Why am I not realizing that it's literally just trauma? It's like the same way you need to tailor yourself to somebody who is depressed and can't really like fully express themselves. Like, you need to give them a little extra help. Like, somebody who is being selfish and greedy and all that, like, it's just trauma. Like,
yeah.
bro, that just like, oh my God. I wish you could see like the insides of my brain right now. It's just like, holy,
That's sick. It's so hard to remember, but it's really cool.
yeah. I think you're super right about that. Like, why else? Why else was anybody experience life like that? Like,
Mm,
especially to like rebut against all of these other ideas that just seem
right.
so obvious. It's like, of course, it's some kind of like trauma or like mental illness type thing. Like,
Yeah, the change isn't there, or someone told them that that's how they were supposed to act, or believe what they were supposed to believe in, and then they did, and then yeah, that's like that whole thing you were saying with the evangelical Christians. We were talking about that,
yeah, yeah,
just like having that belief your whole life, like it's so hard to change. That's like the kind of like culty conservatism, or culty extreme liberalism, like that comes with like a household, that because your parents affect you so much, right? Like
for sure.
you're the psychology guy. Like if mom or dad tell, like you don't even need to have a daddy problem to be like, okay, like dad believes this, so like for a whole like period of time in my life, like I am gonna probably like abide with that, and then like
Yeah,
hopefully, you hope that people get smart and look into it and make their own opinion, and you hope that the parent allows them to do that. Like some people have more of a choice than others. Like if you grow up gay in a conservative household, then you have so much less of a choice to make that decision. You know what I mean?
right.
You're
Dude,
gonna hate your dad or whatever, your mom.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's also just like our as humans, we have this intense need to feel a sense of belonging. So
Hmm.
it's like, if we can't get that from our nuclear family, where are we gonna get that from?
Yeah, that's gonna create a big problem. That's why you see
Yeah,
kids in school that are like the class clown, or like really need attention because they don't get anything at home.
yeah, dude. I mean, look at like um Erickson's psychosocial theory. Like, the most important thing at the very beginning of our lives is trust versus mistrust. If
Mm,
we feel like we can fully trust the people around us, which at the point are just our parents, then that central crisis is met. And if that central crisis is met, we're good to go on to the next stage. But at that next stage, we are not still technically responsible for expanding our circle of trust. So
right.
we only trust you know, those people who gave birth to us and ensured that we made it into the world. Then you're just going to take what they say for like verbatim.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I can't tell you how many like crazy extremist left views my dad tried to impress upon me at a young age that I've now been like, oh, okay, that's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and not enough people do that. They're just like, I mean, this is that daddy issue I was talking about. It's like, well,
Right.
my dad said he'll actually be proud of me if I register
Right.
as a Republican. It's like, grow a set of fucking balls and lift a weight once. It's like, become a man, become your
And
own
then
self.
and then when you do that and you practice that, like, then you'll be able to have the empathy to say, like, oh, like his dad probably said that to him, like,
Right.
you know what I mean, and then accept that trauma, like. But it's such a hard step to take, and I think that you can make this argument with like anything that a kid, like, I feel like, I don't know what the age is or whatever, we don't have to be that specific, but I firmly believe that, like, you know, nature versus nurture. Like, I'm a big nurture guy, and I'm really like, I just think like the impact of your surroundings is just so important, and like
It is.
what happens to you when you're a kid can fuck you up or can get you like on the straight and narrow. And like, I just think that that is like the biggest thing when like you can blame the parents, because like both my parents are teachers, yours too. Like all the time I'll hear from them like, oh, like their parents like think that their kid's perfect and all that. Like you can blame the parents for like all of the kids like fucked up shit only like up to a certain point. And then like
Right.
eventually it's like that person's responsibility to like, if your mom like was never good at like giving you the right nutrition and you're overweight, like there's gonna be a certain point where that becomes your responsibility to fix that problem. Like,
Yeah.
and like just having that social responsibility of like fixing your problem so that like you can be a better person like for everyone else. Like that's like a true example of when being selfish is actually like a good thing, because like if you fix yourself, like then you can contribute. If you're too broken and
Yeah.
damaged, you can't contribute.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, I know I've just spent the last 45 minutes trashing on like selfishness, but I live by a theory of selfishness. I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast or not,
I
but
don't think so.
all right, get ready for this. So, never be in a relationship that you are not in for a selfish reason. You know, like my
That
girl,
makes sense.
my girlfriend right now. I want to hang out with her for a selfish reason. It makes me feel good.
Mhm.
And if I didn't want to do that, I wouldn't be with her.
Right.
I mean, I don't want to go to master's school to stroke my ego. It's like, I'm doing it selfishly because I really, really want to help people.
Right.
Um, I like, I don't lift because I feel like I should be healthy. I do it selfishly. Yeah, it takes away my time for being able to hang out with other people, but selfishly, it makes me feel just better, less aggressive, like more centered, more grounded. Like
Mhm.
all these things, like you can apply that selfishness principle, but and this is what I love about the selfishness like way of thinking. If you apply and live by the selfishness principle, oh fuck, I keep burping.
You're good.
Uh, oh,
Bourbon too, bro.
if you apply and live by the selfishness principle, but it still benefits others than yourself, you know you're a good person.
Right.
But if you only do things that are like selfish and they only benefit yourself, you have some work to do. Like
Right.
maybe you need to get into therapy. Maybe you need to take 5 grams of shrooms. Maybe you need to take an acid trip. Like
Right.
it's something like that.
Something you need, yeah, to work on yourself and
Yeah.
start bringing the walls down so that people can like, so you can really be yourself. Like the walls go both way, like you build up walls. That means like you can't be yourself and the other people can't see who you are, So like,
Yes. Yes. Hell, you are hitting on something huge with the walls. This is a whole concept we can dive into huge. Like nowadays, I mean, think about like the amount of people who put up walls in relationships. Like
Yeah, big time.
it's cool to seem disinterested. It's cool to
Mhm.
give spacey replies. It's
Yes.
cool to, you know, be, oh, I have other, possibilities. You're not my final. Like, that is all walls to protect a fragile self,
Mm.
you know? You're not living authentically with that. It's like,
Right, right. Emotions, dude. Emotions is such a big thing. Like
yeah,
people will like, especially like, like the typical tough dad, like pull yourself up by your bootstraps, like doesn't show any emotion, doesn't tell you he loves you, like, like my dad can be a little like rough around the edges. He's still like he shows how much he cares all the time. But he's not like an outwardly emotionally like emotional person. And like different people are different, but I think in some cases, like certain people will just be like, oh, like I can't like tell my son I love him. Like that's so like soft. Like I would never do that. Like or
that's
like tell him that I'm proud of him or something. And like for people like with those walls up, it just you never really get to know what it feels like to like listen to a song and then like start crying
yeah.
because like it's sad and you're like, wow, I can't believe my emotion just changed like that. Like I've been so conditioned. Like I'll literally there are times where I'm like, why am I crying? Like, wow, like why am I being so affected by this song right now? But like it'll just hit me, bro. And like that kind of flow into those different emotions, like that's what really makes you that's when your walls are down and like you're comfortable and like you're accepting of yourself. Like you can really look in the mirror and be like, like I can see me right now and like I'm cool with that. Like, and that's such a hard place to get to.
Yeah, I mean, I think a large part of it is it's toxic masculinity, and it's for
Yeah,
people who don't know what true masculinity is. Like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, divine feminine energy is, like having empathy for the people around you and caring for those that are not well off. But divine masculine energy is being confident and safe in yourself. Like, I mean,
right, right.
I'll cry in front of my girl. Fuck
Oh
anybody
yeah,
who wants to have an issue with that. Like,
dude, that whole simp trend is so toxic.
so toxic. Are you
Just
kidding?
realize that.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I love somebody else. You have an issue with that? It's like,
And you can see the switch flip, bro. Like those fucking TikToks where the girls are like talking to their man like in like the baby voice and he's talking back in the baby voice and then he like
yeah,
realizes that she's recording him and he jumps out of bed. He's like, yo, like why are you recording me, dog? Like, and it's just like you can see it happening. Like you can see his brain going, oh my God, all my boys are gonna see me and they're gonna make fun of me because I'm being soft. Oh my God, I'm like,
yeah, it's literally,
dude, I would literally like see I think that this is what would happen. I wish that I would have like been able to have this tried on me, but like literally, I think I would look at the camera and be like, whatever, like whatever, bro. Like it's like
yes.
you never talk like that to your girlfriend. Like clearly, the hardest people do because I'm watching them on TikTok right now. Like, and those walls are down, dude, and like
That's the big thing.
it's kind of fucked up the ones that get posted because then that like continues the cycle because now he can't trust her. Like now he's opened up to her and let his walls down, and then she goes ahead and makes that public and like gets
It
a
is a little
million
bit.
likes.
It is a little bit weird when people
It's a
post
little bit like
that shit.
betrayal,
It is a little. But uh,
but
a
still,
I mean, those are two unsecure people.
right, right,
Because
right,
somebody
right.
who's totally secure would just be like, okay, whatever. But also, a secure person wouldn't post that. Like, let me expose my boyfriend. It's like,
Right.
maybe you're a piece of shit. But
Yeah.
it's also like, why are you taking your walls down? Like, I mean, talk about if we want to roll toxic masculinity, like, you are a fucking pussy if you have to put up walls around people. Like, just be your authentic self. Like, I worry, like, I feel like I'm my authentic self around a lot of people, and I know not all people jive with who I am, and that's fine. It's like some people just aren't gonna like me, whatever. Like, I know I'm like a weird, like, I'm a weird brew. But it's like whoever does, it's like, oh, I latch on to those people because it's like, you're
Yeah.
appreciating me for me, and I love you for that. And it's like I can see the beauty in all people. It's just like some people can't see the beauty in me, which is like that's fine. Um,
Yeah.
with
But it can be hard. Like there are times when I'm like, I want to like give that message out and like preach that kind of message and that kind of thing, and then, I'll go ahead and say something or do something that's like completely out of line with that. You know what I mean? And like then I'm like, oh, why did I say that? Like where did that come from? You know what I mean? And like I feel like everyone's guilty of that. Like
what do you mean, like attacking somebody who is not in like the same lane as you? Like,
just not having the foresight or the empathy to like realize that, like the other person, that place that other person's coming from.
oh, okay, all right.
Or like, you know what I mean? Like that person
Well,
has their walls up for their own reasons, that kind of thing.
that's exactly what I'm doing with conservative people.
Yeah.
So you're not alone in that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, right? Because like I don't put walls up around people who are conservative, but I definitely feel like I have to inhabit this teacher role, which is
Mhm.
so obnoxious for anybody who's listening to it because it's just like, oh, you want to be lectured at right now? Nobody wants that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I like it sometimes.
No, come on. Don't
No, I
patronize.
do, Nate. Well, I do. I don't like it all the time, but I do like it sometimes. But I get you though. I know what you mean. I
But
think the biggest thing is like, I don't know. I feel like everyone just has good days and bad days.
yeah, bro,
You know
it's
what I mean?
different. It's different with us though, because like I feel like for whatever like small nuggets of wisdom I can give to you, you give me equal back.
Yeah.
So when
True.
there's an equal change like that, it's just like, both sides feel validated and valuable. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I know there are a lot of people in my life who I interact with and I inhabit the teacher role, then um if they inhabit a teacher role at all, when they do, I can be incredibly resistant to listening to it.
Right. Right.
But it comes from a place of like, if I don't, I just don't respect some people who have fucked up views. Like, you know, there's a few people in my life who have slightly different views from me, but I really respect the place they're coming from because
Mm.
they've been able to be open enough with me where I understand like their thought process and I'm like, okay, like, this is a person who I can understand and like wants like some kind of relationship here, like a real relationship that's not just like, okay, yo, I did this today. No way, I did that last week. It's like, okay, no,
Yeah. Tell me
no,
I look like shit, and then fucking talk to me about the realization you had when you were fucking like taking shit the other day. Like that's the kind of shit you need.
right,
You gotta have people that you can be real with.
exactly,
That's
dude.
the main takeaway.
That's such a toxic thing about like our generation. I love our generation in so many ways.
Me
Like
too.
we all grew up with like such similar influences so we can relate on
Mhm.
so many different levels, but
Yeah.
there are a lot
And
of
just
people, what were we gonna say?
no, go ahead.
um there's a lot of people who are just like broken because they
Mhm.
grew up in like this social media culture where their validation came from others and they maybe don't fully love themselves, and that lack of love for self gets taken out on other people. Dude, it's like what you were saying earlier, like unless you can fully love yourself, you're not going to be able to help other people.
Mhm.
Like make sure you're good before you help other people, and like
Yeah.
that's a real thing. Like that's why I retreat from other people a lot of the time. It's just like I'm going to exist only by myself for a little bit. um and it's like I got to use that time to recharge.
Right.
Then other people just never fully give themselves to other people, and you get this, yeah, you get a comfort in being recharged all the time.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, why are you you're on 100% battery, but you're not using it. So what's the point of being on 100% battery?
Right.
Like,
Right.
yeah,
Right. Yeah, dude, I totally hear you. I think that's the fucking biggest takeaway from this podcast. Just tear down the fucking walls,
yeah,
who you are, and like a lot of, and just understanding like in certain situations when people act a certain way, like mom or dad tells you something and you're just like, okay, like, um, like I love you, and like that's something really cool, dude. That a family, like we have like some family friends, like a neighbors that are family friends, and then their friends, which we've known forever. And our neighbors' friends are Republican, and our neighbors are Democrats, and one of the kids, one of the sons, is like pretty far to the left, and like brings it up at like social gatherings and things like that, and like
right,
picks a fight. And something that I respect so much about the Republican family is that like every time they like bring a fight, like this kid will like bring on a fight and like kind of like pick an argument, that kind of thing, like stir the pot. Like, at first they'll try to talk with him about it, and then like after a while, it just will get like so bad, and they'll just be like, okay, like they'll literally say to him, "We love you. We've known you forever. We just want you to be okay. Like,
right.
and we're always gonna love you. And there's nothing you can do to that's gonna change the fact that we love you, and like you're our own son. And like that's it." And then they'll leave or something. And it's like that demonstration of like empathy is fucking unmatched. That's one of the best like
Yeah.
demonstrations of empathy that I've ever seen. It's just like, how can you like it just what do you say to that? Like, what does the hurting party say to somebody that just told you that they love you when you were being like that? Like, there's nothing you can say.
And that's why I have so much back and forth energy on like this, hating on conservatives, because it's like I know there's so many good people. I've communicated with so many people who are such amazing people, and it's like, you know, you have all this positive energy. It's like, why can't you get to that place?
Right.
And then it's just like, okay, maybe I am imprinting too much of what my values are or myself onto them. And yeah, it's so tough.
I'm not comparing you to him though, because you're never really rude. Like you always listen, and like you're not aggressive, or like I just don't want you to think I'm comparing you to him. But like,
No, no, no.
yeah.
But dude, I'm seeing the truth there, because I am like that sometimes with some people. With my
Mhm.
roommates, for sure, I'm like that.
Yeah. There's
And
a level of comfortability there, but I definitely know what you mean. It probably hurts you more to be like that than it hurts them for you to be like that to them.
mm, I mean, to a degree, yeah,
Yeah.
it's it's tough, man. I don't want us all to think the same way, because then like the spice of life is gone.
Right.
But we definitely we need to just have empathy for like our fellow countrymen.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
and it's tough because it manifests in different ways.
Yeah.
Like for different
It's,
people, it comes out in different ways,
uh,
and being comfortable with that is such a hard thing.
it starts with that leadership, dude, in the community, in the state, and then in the government. Like you need somebody who gets it, who's like, we just don't have that. We just haven't had that.
I know, dude. This is why we need one last plug for my boy. This is why we need Andrew Yang,
A Yang, baby.
bro. He's so aware. I mean, his his platform slogan was "Not left, not right, but forward." Which
That's gas.
it's amazing. It's exactly what we need. Like he takes all of the best parts from the right, and all the best parts from the left, and just says goodbye to all the bullshit.
Hmm.
I don't know if you saw, he's running for mayor of New York City in the next election.
Really?
Yeah, I'm hoping he gets it.
Wow.
He has a lot of support.
Did he grow up in New York?
I don't think he grew up there, but he's a resident in New York right now.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
That's really dope.
Dude, he is amazing. I mean,
Mm.
like he started as a competitor within corporate America, got sick of the corporate system, began lecturing on ethical business, became like an angel investor in some companies that really needed it, that were doing good things. I mean, yeah,
That's
he's
dope.
dude, his whole thing is like universal basic income is the way to go. And he's been sponsoring a few families and paying out of his own pocket for it. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
That's
that
dope.
that's a true patriot, a true American. I mean, he's not relying on any governmental system for it. He's just like, you know what?
Right.
I want change to happen, so I'm gonna be that change. That
So sick.
inspires me so much. Like,
Yeah, and he's got a fucking big job ahead of him in New York, bro.
yeah, yeah. I
They're
mean,
in a tough spot right now.
a lot of people hate Cuomo for a lot of very good reasons.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he can kind of de-seat him. But
That'd be sick.
yeah, I mean, if he transferred, like, if he followed up that mayoral race with like uh, running for governor, that would be sick.
Right.
But even just to get like, who's the is Bloomberg is not the mayor of New York right now. Who's it? De Blasio.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, if he could get De Blasio out of office, that'd be great. Um, I don't love what he's doing. He seems like a fake liberal. He seems like somebody who's just kind of like virtue signaling to like what he thinks his constituents want.
Yeah, what's ever gonna make him win?
Exactly. Yeah. Dude,
Dude.
we never introed this episode.
No, we didn't. We'll do it now.
All right.
12.
Episode 12, baby.
12 beaner.
Yeah. Don't know what
Dude,
to call it yet, but
yeah, we'll figure it out. Something to do with walls or something like that.
yeah. We call it like the sheep of Wall Street or something.
Oh, that'd be cool. Wall Street, Wall City. Dude. Yeah, honestly, probably a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah. I could pee right now.
Me too, bro. Me too.
So uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
dude, this was fun. I think we covered some good ideas. I hope some people can kind of learn from areas where I've fucked up.
And me.
I mean, look, we're not here to educate. We're only hoping that people can like learn from mistakes we've made.
Yeah. And this is like such a out loud, like it's such a brainstorm for us. Such
Yeah,
a thing
for
for out
real.
loud. Like you can obviously tell, like we did not come here with what we were gonna talk about. We did not fucking we had one thing we wanted to talk about, which was aliens, and we didn't even talk about it. Like that's like that's gonna be the next episode. But like
Yeah.
that is like how much of a raw thought this whole conversation is, and like
Yeah.
we're just processing our life through this podcast, and like maybe it'll be relatable, you know.
Yeah. Hopefully somebody can learn from this televised therapy session.
Facts.
But all right, I think we end it there. Thank you everybody for listening, watching, if you did this far. But
yeah, honestly, thanks so much. We love you. Good night. Peace.
12. Peace out.